If you're a trader and you want to stop losing money because of revenge trading, emotional trading, oversizing and over-risking, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve this problem once and for all. Especially in the CFD space and in the prop firm industry, these firms that are giving you access to trading very often make money from your losses. And as a consequence, there's a little feature that any trading platform could have that is not there, but professional traders instead use every single day. Because let's face it, oversizing and over-risking is mostly a retail problem. It's very hard that you're gonna see someone in the professional space when there's money from investors involved, or a very highly capitalized trader, or a trader of a trading floor, whatever that is. When there's serious money on the line, you're not just gonna rely on your goodwill to enforce proper risk management. That's not how it works. You're gonna have circuit breakers. You're gonna have automatized risk management systems. And in most professional trading terminals, that is a feature you have. And specifically for prop firms, if they actually wanted you to enforce proper risk management, they wouldn't tell you, hey, if you risk more than this, you're out. Because that's not teaching you discipline. That's just finding excuses to take your money. If a trading venue, if a trading terminal was actually trying to help you manage your risk, and was actually built by traders for traders, it will look like something we have on Deep Charts, which is called the portfolio management system. It's something we used to have on Deep Charts known as Money Manager, but in the recent update we've made a lot of improvements on it, and we're still gonna make more in the future, so stay tuned. But with this type of tool, it's so easy to put a cap on your losses, to avoid over-risking, to avoid oversizing, and put a block on your instinct before your goodwill fails. So in this video, we'll see how to set this up on your Deep Charts platform, but we're also gonna see how to automatically calculate the exact size based on your maximum risk without having to rely on external calculators for it, and how to dynamically manage your trades with the new trailing stop function. Let's see how it works. We're gonna open our Deep Charts platform. When you open your Deep Charts platform, you're always gonna go on trading and show portfolio. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to open this tab over here, where you can either open a new SIM account or connect a real trading account or your prop firm accounts. If you want to add a new SIM account, you can simply go on Options, Settings, SIM account, and you can add a new SIM account, call it, for example, Test 564, add the balance that you prefer, you can add it, and there you have it. And as you can see now, it has appeared. And here I have my entire portfolio. So let's say it's a real account. This works the exact same way. So I can click on Money Management Settings and open the settings for this specific account. And for example, I will enable the money management settings. And by the way, these are all managed on the client side. So they're all managed by the Deep Charts platform. I can either filter for a category, whatever that is, and I can, for example, set a daily loss limit. I can enable a maximum daily loss of $500, for example. I can set this on money, or I can set it as a percentage of my account. For example, I don't want to risk more than 5% of my account today. I can also put a cap to my profit in case I wanted to. Not sure why you would want to, but for example, if you're doing, let's say, a challenge where you have to respect some consistency rules, this daily profit limit will help you enforce that. So just in case, we put it there. Another thing I can do, for example, is a position loss limit. So I can, if a position is more than, let's say, $100 in a loss, I'm going to automatically close it. So what this is going to do is avoid me over-risking on a single trade more than I plan to. So here I can set the maximum risk per trade. And whenever that's triggered, I can set an action. In this case, it says flat or timed pause. And in this case, if I put time pause, I can, for example, tell my platform to not let me trade for the following 5 minutes, so I avoid over trading and oversizing, in case that's something I want to do. Or I can pause for the entire day. But I wouldn't suggest to do it only with one position. I typically have it at time pause and maybe a couple of minutes of rest. I can also limit the trading hours. For example, I know that my strategy says don't trade the London session, but I still feel like I want it because I want to recover my previous day's loss. Well, this function is gonna not allow me to do that. And I can activate it, for example. I can select the symbols, for example, the NASDAQ, okay? And I can just close. I'm just gonna click OK. And it's gonna add this symbol to the list of the symbols where this money management is enforced upon. So if I click on set, it will automatically set this new profit system. So now, as you can see, it's daily paused, and it's going to resume in 3 hours when the new day comes. But I could still go in the settings and, for example, disable it, right? And I will set it, and now, as you can see, it's disabled. But if instead I decide to enable it, I can also inhibit changes until the next session. So what this is going to do is it's not going to allow me to change the settings mid-session. So this is like the hard break. This is not going to allow you to touch the settings anymore, right? This is probably the most important part, because you don't want to just set the money management system and then not respect it. So if you activate this toggle, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna have to wait until the next session before you can edit these settings. And then, for example, when you open a new price chart, and let's say we go to the S&P 500, and let's load a template from the full version, Andrea Cimi, the 5-minute footprint chart. Now it has loaded my chart, and let's say that, for example, I want to short this market. I can either click here and activate trading, or I can directly go down here and activate the trading panel. And I can select, for example, my testing account. And for example, I want to keep the ES on the chart here, but I want to trade the micro. So I want to look at the volume on the ES, and instead I want to trade in the micro contract. So I'm going to write MES on the CME, select the micro, and there you have it. I have the chart on the ES, but I'm using the micro contract. And for example, let's say on this trade, I only want to risk $100. How many contracts should I buy or sell? Well, instead of doing all the calculation by yourself, for example, by clicking with the right click and seeing, okay, well, this is around $400 on the E-mini, so it's probably $40. So I have to kind of open 2 minis and like do the math yourself. You don't need to do that. Because right over here, you can open the OCO strategy and set your stop loss instead of ticks to money. And at that point here, instead of quantity 1 contract, I can go with risk. And it's going to automatically calculate my position. So I'm going to decide to risk, for example, $100 on this trade. And if I, for example, sell and I want to say put my stop loss above here and enter right here, I'm just going to click sell. And nothing happens. Why? Because first, I'm going to go and select where my stop loss is going to sit at. And do you see how now it's 7 contracts? Now it's 5. And the more I go up, the more it specifically calculates my risk. So if I want it right up here, it's going to be 2 contracts. Of course, it's going to have to adapt it, right? So if I click here, then it opens my trade. Now, of course, the daily loss limit has been triggered, so we cannot trade this account anymore. But at that point, let's try to use it with a SIM account, and let's do the exact same thing. So let's sell, and then click here where we want to have our stop loss. And it's going to automatically open only when I tell the platform where the stop loss is. Then I can, for example, click and drag and have my take profit below here. And I might, for example, have a trailing stop being triggered only when price reaches a certain level. So for example, here, when I reach the value area low, I want my stop loss to start being trailed a couple of ticks above price. So at this point, well, when price is going to reach this level, my stop is going to be placed exactly here, and it's going to be trailed the more price keeps going lower. So you can automatically manage everything that relates to your trading without thinking about calculating your risk, without thinking about having to enforce proper risk management and risking burning your account, and all of those kind of things that are typical at the beginning of your trading journey. So to help you build your discipline, you don't need rules that will ban you from a prop firm or that will make you lose money. You need a proper risk management system that will actually help you. And we have it at Deep Charts, as always. So if you're interested in using our platform, as always, use the link in the description. We're running an Easter sale as we speak, right before we launch our new Deep Dom platform. So if you want to take advantage now, you're going to get very good discounts also for the Deep Dom launch. So I strongly advise you to take advantage of this offer as we speak. So I'll see you in the next video.